From the 12th century until about 50 years ago, only future priests were ordained as deacons. At the Second Vatican Council, however, the diaconate was restored as a lifelong ministry and it was open to married men. How did this change come about? Deacon Bill Deitwig tells the story in the book, The Emerging Diaconate. In the early 20th century, an idea began to spread in the German Caritas movement that the diaconate as a permanent vocation could be restored. Toward the end of the Second World War, some Catholics saw the ministry of deacons as a necessary part of a renewed church that would help prevent future atrocities and serve a world with tremendous needs. A young forestry worker in Freiburg, Hannes Kramer, felt called to the diaconate. When he shared this call with his bishop, the bishop responded that it wasn't possible, since Hannes was married and only future priests could become deacons. So what did Hannes do? In 1951, he founded the first Diaconate Circle. The members, which included men and women, lived the diaconate vocation. Each week, the group engaged in ministries of charity and also explored the possibility of a renewed ordained diaconate in the church. Within a decade, 30 diaconate circles emerged in various places, including France, Austria, and Latin America. They were building something at the grassroots. Then, as we know, Pope John the 23rd called a council. As Vatican II took place, members of the diaconate circles moved to Rome and served as a resource for the bishops, many of whom knew little about this distinct and ancient order of ministry. And the presence of these circles made a difference. In 1965, the council decreed that the diaconate should be restored as a permanent state of life. And the reason they gave? There are men who actually carry out the functions of the deacon's office. So it's only right to strengthen them by the sacramental grace of the diaconate. And since the diaconate circles had already laid the groundwork, within a year of Pope Paul VI's official approval, the first ordinations of married men took place in Germany. This history speaks to what we're doing in this project. Years before this ministry was officially restored, the people of God were meeting together, praying, studying, and engaging in diaconal ministry. Today we know that women are already doing the work of deacons. Might the restoration and renewal of the diaconate include recognizing the diaconal work of women and ordaining them to this ministry so they too can be strengthened by the grace of the sacrament? In recent years, there have been synods of bishops and papal commissions that have been discerning this question. In 2015, at the Synod on the Family, the Archbishop President of the Canadian Bishops' Conference, pictured here, proposed opening up a process for ordaining women as deacons. In 2016, following a request from the International Leadership Group of Women Religious, Pope Francis established a commission to study the question. In 2019, the Amazon Synod repeatedly affirmed that women are already doing the work of deacons, and several bishops made strong statements in favor of ordaining these women. One bishop said that the women who are doing ministry in his diocese already know that if the Pope opens the possibility, I will ordain them. In their final document, the Synod asked to share their experiences and reflections with the Papal Commission on Women Deacons. Pope Francis immediately responded, I pick up the challenge. There's a glove somewhere that's been thrown down. The women have put up a sign and said, please listen to us. May we be heard. And I pick up that gauntlet. When he said this, the room filled with applause. 1 year ago, Pope Francis established a new commission to study the question. It has 5 men and 5 women as members, including 2 permanent deacons from the United States. Due to the pandemic, the work of the commission was delayed, but they will begin meeting this fall. Clearly, the question of women and the diaconate is an active discernment in our church. And in a synodal, participatory, and listening church, this is not a discernment only for synods of bishops or papal commissions. It's a discernment for the entire people of God. To pray together, to dialogue, to listen to the Holy Spirit, and what new paths the Spirit may be opening up in the church today.